From the Cardinal Television Studio, I'm Adelisa Badzik with your Fisher News Brief. For the first time in history, a former president of the United States may be indicted for a crime. As a grand jury investigation into crimes alleged to have been committed by Donald Trump is set to end, the former president is bracing for possible arrest. While law enforcement at every level prepare for the protests that could likely follow, Gloria Pazmino is in New York with the latest.
In a Truth Social post on Saturday, former President Donald Trump said he expects to be arrested on Tuesday.
I think it's not speculation. It's something that we're hearing. He needs to get ahead of it.
While there's no official word yet from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office, grand jury proceedings are nearing the end, with the last-minute witness set to testify Monday at the request of Trump's legal team, according to a source familiar with the investigation.
This would be historically groundbreaking moves for a misdemeanor to try and bring it up to a charge where you're arraigning a former president.
Trump is being investigated for his role in an alleged hush money scheme involving payments made in 2016 by his then attorney Michael Cohen to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. An indictment would be a historic first and could make Trump an even more divisive figure on the campaign trail.
It does drastically change the paradigm as we go into the 24 election.
Echoing his calls for action after the 2020 election, Trump told his social media followers to, quote, protest and take our nation back.
If was this to happen, we want calmness out there.
Federal, state, and local authorities now preparing for the possibility of unrest.
We're always monitoring the situation here as best we can, and we obviously don't want to see any activity grow violent.
To a lot of us, buying eggs these days feels like buying golden eggs. In fact, they've gotten so expensive, Dollar Tree can't afford to sell them anymore. The discount chain sells most products for $1.25 and a small selection of items for $3 or $5. The company used to sell cartons of 8 or 6 eggs for $1.25. Short supply and high production costs are partly to blame for the sky-high egg prices. But producers are also using those factors to justify maximizing their profits. Most retailers have raised egg prices on customers to adjust for higher costs, but Dollar Tree doesn't have as much flexibility to do that. The company says it will bring back eggs when costs come down. Reading to youngsters sparked controversy in New York City when a group of drag performers led story time for children. Protesters made their outrage clear outside as children inside heard about gender issues in colorfully illustrated books. Lucy Yang has details.
The baby couldn't decide what to be. Oh my goodness, boy or girl, bird or fish, cat or rabbit, tree or star. So the baby looked a little like everything.
In this children's book, the child is non-binary, so the plural pronoun is used as we follow the child to school and learn about the struggles of trying to fit in. The reader is a drag performer. The audience, very young children. No doubt gender issues and trying to find a safe space are real issues for many in the LGBTQ community. But there were many protesters outside denouncing this forum as inappropriate and even grooming. Interestingly, some of the critics identify themselves as gay.
We are gay, but we stand against you people. We are gay people.
We are gay.
We are gay.
We are gay.
We are gay. You do not believe in inclusion.
Inside, Drag Storytime received support and applause from city officials, state officials, all the way to the New York State Attorney General.
And I don't know a lot of children who have been harmed by a drag readathon. But I know a lot of children who have been harmed by guns. So why don't you focus on that?
An Oklahoma woman says she is traumatized after she was attacked by someone's pet monkey on her own front porch. Sarah Smith has the story.
I was sitting here and I'm in this exact spot and I looked out the window and there was a monkey looking at me. And I said, oh my God, there's a monkey. And I took a second take and I was like, there's the monkey on the front porch.
Brittany Parker says she was stunned.
He was trying to get into my house, the little button that you push in on your screen door. He had broke it off. I was literally hanging on to the door trying to hold my door closed.
Parker says she called police and went outside when officers got there. That's when she was attacked.
He crawled, jumped up my back, and landed on my head, got on my head and grabbed handfuls of hair and just ripped it out, and then ripped my ear almost completely off of my head.
Police say the monkey ran off after the attack.
As we were looking for this primate, 2 shots were fired. They did come from the area of the victim's residence. Officers went back and responded back to that residence and then found that a family member of the victim had shot the primate.
Parker and police say they didn't know someone had a pet monkey. Friends of the monkey say his name was Jack. They sent us these videos.
It's scary. It's absolutely scary. Very traumatizing.
Parker says because of her injury, she can't work. She says she will need plastic surgery. Parker also worries about her family's safety.
Do I let my child go outside and play and be a normal child? Or do I need to worry every time that we step outside that we're going to be attacked by something? It's very traumatizing. It's very scary.
No word on who owned the monkey. Police did say having the monkey is not illegal. The case has been turned over to the district attorney's office. 90 is a little up there to be a new dad, wouldn't you say? Don't tell that to Mr. Pickles. These are his kids. Mr. Pickles is a radiated tortoise who lives at the Houston Zoo. He is the oldest animal at the zoo. He and his mate, Mrs. Pickles, have been together since her arrival at the zoo in 1996. These cuddly baby reptiles are Dill, Jerkin, and Jalapeno. Even though 90 may not be so old for a tortoise, it surprised the zoo when Mrs. Pickles laid eggs. A quick-thinking worker spotted her laying them as the zoo was closing, and experts snatched them up. That's because the eggs probably couldn't hatch in Texas soil since it's so different from the animal's native Madagascar. The baby pickles are important because radiated tortoises are critically endangered. They've been over-collected for the illegal pet trade, and they don't produce many offspring. A lightning-fast heist at a car dealership resulted in 6 top-end Dodge Hotrods disappearing in about 40 seconds, and the manager says he thinks it was an inside job. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
Gone in 40 seconds. That's roughly how long the manager of a Kentucky dealership says it took a group of thieves to make off with 6 high-performance sports cars, 4 of which were driven right off the showroom floor. The manager says he believes the rip-roarin' hot rod rip-off may have been an inside job, as the suspects knew where to find the keys and how the security system worked.
It takes 60 seconds before it starts alerting, So they were gone 20 seconds before the alarm ever went off.
Although the heist was quick and slick, netting the perps 6 Challenger Hellcats worth nearly $600,000, 5 of the cars have reportedly already been recovered and at least 1 arrest made. It just proves it's not how you start, but how you finish that matters. A 20-year-old theft case came to a happy ending when Texas authorities returned an 8-foot alligator they say was taken from a reptile zoo 2 decades ago when the gator was still just an egg. Officials say a former zoo employee admitted to swiping the egg and raising the gator at her home where it was discovered. Now, at long last, this really big reptile is finally back where it belongs. Speaking of really big reptiles, check out what an Alabama firefighter encountered responding to a house fire. And that's not all. The department said 20 snakes, lizards, tarantulas, and more had to be holed up in the home while they did their thing. I think this Facebook user put it best, saying, "With great mustaches comes great responsibilities." For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
That's it for today's news. For Fisher's News Brief, I'm Adelisa Badzik.